we now turn our attention to boxing and the upcoming heavyweight IBF world title fight being held on the 21st of September 2024 at Wembley Stadium. Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. The betting, Anthony Joshua big favourite 2-9. Draw 20-1. Daniel Dubois 4-1. The common consensus is that AJ is the favourite, going by the odds and going by what people are saying. A lot of people are even saying that it'll be a quick fight and it'll be easy for AJ. Going by AJ's demeanour at the initial head-to-head they had and press conference, it feels like AJ's very confident. I'd say it feels like AJ's almost being a little bit more dismissive of Dubois, which I think could be a mistake. The recent form you've got to give to Dubois, he's got impressive victories over Jarrell Miller, Hrgovic. He had his moment against Usyk with the low blow controversy, but actually went on to lose that fight, but still did okay, took it into the late rounds. So on form, you'd probably say Dubois has the edge. He definitely has the edge on form. AJ's got wins over Ngannou in his second professional fight as a boxer. He's got the wins over Hellenius, who was on performance-enhancing drugs. It was found afterwards he's at the end of his career. Sort of an ageing competitor, still useful, still a big puncher, but someone AJ should, win easy. It was like sparring. And then also Franklin, he wasn't impressive against him, but obviously things have changed now. As with Ben Davison, his confidence is up. The big knockout win over Ngannou would have given confidence. He beat Otto Wallin, which before the fight was touted as a difficult fight, and he got through it pretty easily. But obviously he'd fought Otto Wallin in the amateurs, so he's aware of Wallin. And he knew his strengths and weaknesses, so he wasn't going in there blind. But yeah, on the recent form you'd say Dubois, but the general feeling is that going by what the pundits and experts are saying, the hype around the fight is that AJ should win it fairly easily, but I think it's going to be tighter than that. If we look at the odds, AJ's 2-9, so that's implying an 80% probability that he'll win the fight. And then that would be giving Dubois 20%. I mean, the way I look at it, I'd probably give it a 70-30 sort of situation. 70% for AJ, 3 for Dubois. Out of 10 fights, I'd probably expect AJ to win 7 and Dubois 3. So going by my expectation and my probabilities, you'd have Dubois 9-4, which is a lot less than the 4-1 the bookies are giving, and you'd have AJ at 4-9. So I think there's a little bit of value for Dubois at 4-1. But obviously, when you're looking at these fights, you've actually got to look at what the outcome's likely to be. My instinct is siding with AJ, just the experience. Multiple world heavyweight champion, and now looking more confident. I think he may go on and improve, even though his recent opponents haven't been as good as Dubois. His recent wins aren't as strong as Dubois, and Dubois has shown strength and endurance, and he's galvanised in his new partnership with Don Charles. He's talking the talk, he's looking stronger. Spiritually, feels saying the right things, feels more confident, looks the part. I don't think he's going to come in and roll over. I think he's going to give AJ a tough fight. I think it might be harder than people think. But looking at the odds the bookies have, AJ 2-9, draw 20-1, Dubois 4-1. I mean, you couldn't lump on AJ at 2-9, really. I mean, because of the recent opposition, we can't be sure. We can't be sure how he's going to compete. To lump 2-9, you're not going to make a fortune on that unless you put down a big wedge. So in terms of value, which is what we're always looking for on the channel, you might have a little bit on Dubois. And looking around, I've seen some interesting prices. If you go for AJ by decision, you can get 6-1. Dubois by decision 12-1. So that high price for Dubois lets you know that the bookies don't feel that Dubois is going to be winning on points anytime soon. And obviously if it goes to decision, you'd expect the judges to be siding with the cash cow, Anthony Joshua fighting at Wembley. The consensus generally being that we're looking towards AJ and Fury and AJ Usyk 3, and that's what the industry wants, that's where the money is. So I don't see Dubois winning on points, even if he pulls out a great performance. So that's a no-no. But AJ at 6-1, I mean, people think Dubois is going to get blasted out quickly, probably because of the way AJ dispatched Ngannou, but I think he's tough. I think he's going to put up a fight. I think it's a possibility it could go late, and it could go the distance. 6-1 is, it's quite a juicy price. It's obvious that the bookies don't feel that it's going to go long. They feel like it's going to be two powerful men, two big punchers. Logically speaking, that should be a short fight, but you never know. If Dubois lands some big shot, he's a big puncher. Daniel Dynamite Dubois, if he hurts AJ or gives him something extra to think about, You know, he could revert to type. That more tentative style that we saw pre-Ben Davison could come back, the gun-shy style. Obviously, AJ's got a lot of experience, so even if he's not feeling good, he's quite good with his you know, he knows what to do. He knows how to be a little bit more defensive and a little bit more ponderous and a little bit more careful to avoid being hurt. We saw that in the second fight with Ruiz, where he kept it long, kept it evasive, and went on to a points victory. So if Dubois gets at him, you never know. He might start keeping it long, using the jab. Obviously, Dubois got a good jab, but so is AJ, and AJ's got that experience. If he's having a problem in the fight, I think he could sort of revert to that pre-Davison ponderous style and maybe, you know, strategize out a points win. But obviously, Dubois, he comes forward. It was pretty attritional fights with Jarrell Miller and Hrgovic. I mean, there was damage for both fighters in those sort of attritional fights. So you'd have thought he'd be bringing it hard to AJ. So I can see why the bookies are thinking, you know, short fight either way. But looking at value and looking at boxing, you know, boxing isn't a logical thing every time. It's not always what you think's going to happen happens, you know. It's not always 2 + 2 = 4. Sometimes there's a curved ball. I think Dubois is going to stand up. It's for the IBF title. I think AJ will get it done. He might have to call in his experience. He might have to call on some of his strategic skills to try and see his way through this fight. But I don't necessarily see it as a blast out. I'm going to take a chance that it's not going to be a quick fight. I think it might go long. And in terms of the value prices available, I'd probably say AJ 0.6 to 1 is the one I'd look towards. I think he'll find a way. And don't be surprised if Dubois makes it difficult for him. Obviously, it looks as though AJ is very confident. I think he feels that he's got the beating of Dubois, maybe from sparring stories we've heard, maybe from what he's heard from other fighters. There seems to be a lot of information on sparring with Dubois. Obviously, he's a young fighter and he's fought a lot of the other British contenders. And there's just a general feeling that AJ is confident. But I think Dubois will throw a spanner in the works and make it difficult. I think AJ will get it done, but it'll either be late stoppage or a points win. Give your opinions on the fight. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've seen any value in the betting odds. Enjoy the fight on the 21st of September, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care.